While councillors are taking their seats, I think I can declare the governing body open. There's no requirement for an affirmation today because we have been in continuous session. Though that point about good humour might be worth remembering given the scratchiness at the end of the last meeting. Apologies, I've received apologies from Councillor Sharon Stewart and John Walker for absence. Are there any other apologies? If not, I move that we accept those two apologies. It's been seconded. All those in favour, please say aye. To the contrary, no. Carried. Declaration of interest.
All interested.
I think
we need to declare...
because, we just need to repeat the declarations from Councillors Cooper and Hulse. And while we will probably take the vote as a block on the annual plan, we will note that you were not participating in that vote. Confirmation of minutes, no minutes to confirm, no petitions, no public input, no local board input, no extraordinary items known, and no notices of motion. So we come to the second to last item on the agenda, which is the adoption of the 1 June 2017 Finance and Performance Committee's annual budget and its recommendations. The first item under 10 is sub-item 10, the annual budget for the local board budget. You should have on your screen, I've got it in front of me, the resolutions there. I'll move that resolution. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second.
Seconded. Councillor Simpson. Are there any questions on that? Is there any debate on that motion? If not, I will put that motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
To the contrary, no. And carried unanimously. We now come to item 12, the final annual budget, 2017-28, the Merrill proposal. I'll move items A to F as a block. Do I have a seconder for that?
Second that.
Seconded, Councillor Clow.
So, through the Mayor, just as procedural, I'm not quite sure whether you can do it as a block.
Yes,
You're going to have to...
Just take
two people with the conflict?
Yeah. Look, what the advice to me is that we can put the motion as a block and encourage members to have their vote against a particular clause recorded rather than by a division on each clause. That's the official advice to me, if councillors are happy with that. But I'm conscious that we have debated all day this motion. And the minutes will record that Councillor Cooper and Councillor Hulse did not vote on recommendation C. I have a couple of people to speak to that item. Councillor Fletcher.
No, I think Councillor Newman was first.
Councillor Newman.
Thank you, Your Worship. Your Worship, I just wonder to aid the participation of my colleagues from Waitakere, if perhaps we could take an exception for C. So that is addressed separately, so therefore that one's dealt with, and our colleagues haven't participated in that debate, and therefore they can then come back in, because I think if you're moving it all as one block.
Do C first.
Yep,
We'll go out.
I can. I'm happy to accept that suggestion. So shall I put? Well, actually, before you leave, shall I put items A to F with the exception of C first? That makes it slightly easier, and you don't have to be called back in. So I'll put that as a block. Sorry, Councillor Filipaina.
Just one comment, and I know we've been here a long time, but just one comment in regards to the living wage, and it hadn't been said. But I just wanted to acknowledge the previous mayor in regards to starting the conversation around the living wage. And we know it goes back about 3 or 4 years. So that's all. I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that this is where we started. And also, you've been acknowledged all the way through around your first Merrill proposal. I just want to echo those as well. But I just wanted to make sure that the previous Mayor, Liam Brown, with his charge for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Filipaina. That's now on the record, and I think it's a very fair point. We have some further discussion before we put the motion. Councillor Fletcher, and then I've got several councillors. Councillor Fletcher first.
Mr Chairman, yes, I'm just asking that as we go through this, can we go reasonably slowly? So those, in the spirit that you have asked us of cooperation and goodwill, we're trying to work with you on that,
Yep.
but we just need to make sure that we have expressed ourselves on those votes as we want. And secondly, on the targeted rate, I just want your assurance that you will keep us properly informed if there is to be any further legal action taken. It would give me some comfort to know that there is a measure of trust that all councillors, not just yourself, will be briefed on any actions that may be taken.
I have no difficulty with that suggestion, Councillor. I don't know yet whether the industry will proceed with legal action, but and when I do know, I'll probably find out the same way that you do, and that's through the news media. But happy for you to be kept in touch with what's happening, and that's not just you personally, but the council as a whole. Councillor Denise Lee, I think you had a query.
No, just how are we taking the recording our names against?
Well, we have two ways that we can possibly do it. I can do it clause by clause, or I can take them as. Is that the preference?
Probably the preference is
Okay,
clause by clause.
I'm happy to do that, and we'll do C last, so that our councillors aren't coming in and out that are recusing themselves. Any further motion, Councillor Clow?
No, there's no motion, but I would like to just record as Chair of the Finance Committee and on behalf of Councillor Simpson as well, and thank the Finance Department staff and the other staff that have worked with us on many aspects of this, and I'll just reiterate again that we are pretty lucky with the calibre of the finance team we have in this council, and that should be recognised by all councillors, and I suppose I could widen and say there's certainly in many other departments, if not all other departments. So thank you.
I think, look, I absolutely endorse your comments, Councillor Clow, and I think councillors, if they wish, we can do that by acclamation.
Thank you.
Okay, let's. Sorry, Councillor Hulse, I didn't see you.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I thank the Chair of Finance for making those last points. I just wanted to take a moment before we get into the next bit of business to acknowledge the Chair of Finance and the Deputy Chair. This has been, I know yourself and the Mayoral Office have put this proposal together, but the Chair and the Deputy Chair have carried the load of seeing the detail through, working with their colleagues and dealing with a heavy workload in supporting you in this piece of work that has not been without complex politics attached to it. And I just want to acknowledge the good humour, the integrity and the openness with which the two of us have approached this, and I think that deserves acclamation as well.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you very much, Councillor Hulse. I'm glad I didn't run to be chair of the Finance Committee. I took the lesser role of being mayor. It seems to be a bit easier. Okay, look, we'll take these clause by clause, A, B, D, E, F, and then we'll come back to C, and the two councillors who have recused themselves can take their leave at that point. So I'm moving recommendation A and B. I think they were moved together in the Finance Committee, so we take them together as a package. Is it councillors' wish that we do these by division? Yes. I think it probably is. Let's do it by division. So moving, first of all, recommendations A and B. I've got a seconder for that, Councillor Clow, and I'll ask for a division to be taken if there's no further debate. Thank you. Division.
On A and B together. Mayor Goff.
4.
Councillor Casey.
Yes.
Excuse me, can we not do it together because we have the same problem in the Finance and Performance Committee? I don't agree with it.
I'm sorry, Councillor. The advice that I've got is that it has to be together from our Chief Executive Officer. That's the way we handled it in the first instance. But you could record, if you wish, your opposition to clause
But
B.
it seems really inconsistent with everybody else gets to do it by division and I've got to...
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's the advice I've received.
asked you...
My instinct would have been to take it separately, but the advice I've got
Okay.
is that I need to take it together.
Okay.
So we're halfway through a division. No, I think we can just keep going.
Councillor Cashmore.
Yes.
Councillor Clow.
Yes.
Get them off their pace.
Councillor Collins.
For.
Councillor Cooper.
Yes for A, no for B.
Councillor Darby.
For.
Councillor Filipaina.
Aye for both.
Councillor Fletcher.
No.
Councillor Hills.
Yes, please.
Councillor Hulse. Councillor Denise Lee.
For.
Councillor Mike Lee.
No to A.
Councillor Newman.
For.
Councillor Quacks.
No.
Councillor Sayers.
No.
Councillor Simpson.
For.
Councillor Wayne Walker.
Aye.
Councillor Watson.
Yes.
You're going to be in break your promise group.
Keep rolling up those eyes.
What have we got?
We're just sorting it out. We have something on the screen, but it might not yet be accurate. So, okay. Yes.
What's the next one?
So this is why I would prefer to have done it separately. But Councillor Cooper has voted yes on A and no on B. Councillor Lee has voted yes on B, but not on A. It's the other way around there. And there were three other votes against both clauses and 16 votes in favour of both clauses. That's a complex way of doing it, but that will give you an accurate outcome from it. We now move to recommendation D, which is to deal with the targeted rates to fund growth infrastructure.
Yep.
I've moved that. It's been seconded by Councillor Clow. We'll do another. Is there a need for a division on this? I think everybody supported it. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
To the contrary, no. Carried unanimously. Recommendation E relates to the living wage policy, and I think we will need a division on this.
I'll second
so it's been. I've moved it, seconded by Councillor Clow, and ask our secretary to read the division list, please.
Division on E. Mayor Goff.
Aye.
Councillor Casey.
Yes.
Councillor Cashmore.
Yes.
Councillor Clow.
Yes.
Councillor Collins.
For.
Councillor Cooper.
Against.
Councillor Darby.
For.
Councillor Filipaina.
Aye.
Councillor Fletcher.
Yes.
Councillor Hills.
Yes, please.
Councillor Hulse.
Aye.
Councillor Denise Lee.
Against.
Councillor Mike Lee.
Aye.
Denise Lee. Don't vote for the budget. I never quite get that.
Councillor Newman.
Aye.
Councillor Quacks.
No.
Councillor Sayers.
No.
Councillor Simpson.
No, I abstain.
No way. I
Councillor Wayne Walker.
Yes, no, abstain.
Freudian slip.
Yes, no, not really.
Councillor Wayne Walker.
Absolutely.
Councillor Watson.
Yes.
I declare that carried by 14 votes to 4 with 1 abstention. Right, we come to recommendation 4, which is our omnibus recommendation. I won't read it in full, but you're all familiar with it, having recently debated it. So I'll move accordingly, seconded by Councillor Clow. If there's no discussion, we'll move straight to a vote by division called for, or
Which one is this?
just on voices?
Voices.
Voices.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Mayor, I think, well, the best thing to do here will be to just have those items that councillors want to vote against recorded.
I'm happy to do that. So I'll ask, perhaps
Standing order.
Yeah, I'll ask first of all for those who wish their vote to be recorded against Roman numeral any of the Roman numerals 1 to 10. So, if, Councillor Quacks,
1, 2 and 5.
1, 2 and 5. Councillor Sayers,
1 and 5, please, Mr Mayor.
1 and 5. Any other councillor want to vote recorded against it? So with those opposing votes recorded, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
To the contrary, no. And carried. So we come back to item number C, and if I can ask councillors Cooper and Hulse to recuse themselves. I'll move accordingly. Seconded by Councillor Clow. This will be a vote by division, I'm sure. So I'll ask, if there's no debate on it, I'll ask our secretary to record votes.
This is the governing body.
Okay, clause C, by division. Mayor Goff.
Aye.
Councillor Casey.
Yes.
Councillor Cashmore.
Aye.
Councillor Clow.
Yes.
Councillor Collins.
4.
Councillor Cooper.
Accused.
Not yet, sorry.
Councillor Derby.
4.
Councillor Filipaina.
5.
Councillor Fletcher.
No.
Councillor Hills.
Yes.
Councillor Denise Lee.
4.
Councillor Mitely.
No.
Councillor Newman.
No.
Councillor Quacks.
No.
Councillor Sayers.
Against.
Councillor Simpson.
4.
Councillor Wayne Walker.
No.
Councillor John Watson.
No.
I declare that carried 10 votes to 7. The last item on the agenda is consideration of extraordinary business. I've been advised there is none. And I want to thank councillors for their long day and for their active participation, and declare the meeting closed.
And our staff.
And the staff for putting
And a special thank you.